Good morning, I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. It's Friday morning, almost there to the weekend. Looks like the weekend's going to be a lot cooler than today as a cold front's coming through the area for this evening. With it, we might see a little bit of a light sprinkle here or there, some cloud cover, but it doesn't look like we're going to see much in the way of rain with this next cold front that's coming in for tonight. But we go from 70s today to the 50s as we head towards this weekend, so definitely a big cool down by about 15-16 degrees for tomorrow, as we'll see those highs staying a little bit cooler. If you're heading out to the parade tomorrow, I don't have to worry about any rain or anything, but just maybe take a jacket, bundle up just a little bit. It will be a little bit cool on Saturday morning. All right, let's take a look at what the rest of the day for your Friday is, and today's going to be a nice one. We'll be up into the lower 70s, 70 to about 72 for the afternoon. So enjoy it if you like the warm weather. Temperatures back down into the middle 60s by 6 o'clock, and we'll be dropping off into the 50s by 10 o'clock. Expecting lows tonight behind the front to be falling back into the 40s. So it's going to be a chilly start on Saturday. This afternoon, lots of sunshine. We'll see clouds starting to gather, especially later on this evening as that front starts to push in towards the area. Allergy report really not looking bad for today at all. Low to zero basically across the area. All these numbers are down a little bit, so looking good there thanks to the colder weather. Not much to talk about as far as the allergy report goes. As we take a look outside, we generally have either mostly sunny to maybe a few partly cloudy skies out there. We're seeing a few clouds starting to build up, but not a whole lot of cloud cover. Here's a look down towards Port Arthur as we look at our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This particular camera brought to you by Market Basket. And you can see just a few high clouds kind of drifting in off in the distance there, and starting to see a few low-level clouds starting to develop, a couple of cumulus clouds popping up here and there. But I think we'll still stay with those mostly sunny skies as we go through most of the evening. That front doesn't come through until later on, late this evening, and that's when we'll really start to see the cloud cover thicken up. But you can see on this view from the Horseman's Western Store that there are a few clouds starting to pop up well in advance of that cold front, which is now in North Texas. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network over in Orange showing temperatures already in the upper 60s. We'll probably go up another, say, 3 or 4 degrees in the orange area from what we're looking at right now. Humidity over there at 63%, and we're seeing a little bit of a northwesterly wind at about 7 miles per hour. Most of the area is seeing a little bit more of a southwesterly wind, and that's helping those temperatures up into the 70s for later on this afternoon. Good news is, look at there, on I-10, we don't have any traffic. Well, we have some traffic, but at least not as backed up or anything like that. So looking pretty good if you're trying to maybe head over into Louisiana for the afternoon, something like that. Here's a look down towards the Port of Beaumont from our Packer-LaPrade locations. You can see those clouds kind of drifting through southeast Texas skies. Just some partly cloudy skies there, mostly sunny, I would call it. Once again, we're showing temperatures in the upper 60s as we head downtown towards the port. Humidity at 59%. And look at those winds out of the southwest, anywhere between, say, 10 to 15, maybe some gusts up around 20. So definitely seeing those winds pick up in advance of that front that's going to be moving through for tonight and helping us warm up well above normal. Our normal high this time of year, right around 63. So we'll be almost 10 degrees above that. Heading down towards city of Beaumont. This is our 12 News studio camera up on our tower. I've got it zoomed in to downtown Beaumont as we're seeing a few clouds develop. And you can see those moving from south to north across the area. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And you can see, if you look real close, you can see a couple of flags down on the buildings downtown blowing pretty good out of the south and west as those winds are kicking in between about 10 to 15 this morning and going through the afternoon. So a little breezy along with the warm weather, but overall looking pretty good for this afternoon. If you have any outdoor plans, just might have to hold on to your hat just a little bit with some of those winds kind of kicking up to 15, maybe some gusts around 20. And then we'll head real quick up to Jasper, where we're seeing just some high-level clouds there over the city of Jasper on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Provalis. As we look down some of the roads there in Jasper, looks like a busy Friday out there in the Jasper area. Temperatures in Jasper right now at 66, 67 in Woodville, also 67 in Kirbyville, as well as Orange and Beaumont. So a lot of 67s out there. We're looking at 69 right now, though, in Silby, and 67 in Port Arthur. Lake Charles at 67. Over towards Houston, they're at 66, 65 in Conroe, and then Huntsville currently showing a temperature of about 63 here just before the lunch hour. Here's the front. It's worked its way all the way through the Panhandle now, and you can see heading into the Dallas area here shortly. Out ahead of it, really not much activity out ahead of it in the state of Texas. Now, if you get up into parts of Arkansas, maybe a little bit of light rain there, some cloud cover definitely, and you go farther north than that, that's where most of the activity is with this front, well up to our north. So as it comes through, like I said, we're not expecting much. There's not a whole lot of moisture out there to work with, but we could see maybe squeeze out a little bit of a sprinkle here or there as we get into late this evening. We'll have to wait and see. As we take a look at the big picture, you can definitely see that cold Canadian air spilling down across the Midwest and working its way down in towards the deep south here. Like I said, most of the activity is on the north end of this whole storm system. You can see all the winter weather advisories up towards the Dakotas, back down to Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, starting to see these purples pop up. So they're getting some cold weather as well as maybe a little bit of snow here and there. And you can definitely see some lake effect snows coming off Lake Michigan, heading into Michigan, and looks like maybe some lake effect snows out in western parts of New York State as well. Deep south, pretty quiet. The storm system hasn't quite made it down here, and even as it comes through, we won't see a whole lot of activity. West Coast looks pretty quiet, no problems there if you have travel plans there. And then the East Coast right now, not too much going on from Florida up to the Carolinas. There is a little bit of precipitation, looks like, up towards the mid-Atlantic states, as this cold front's going to be marching towards that area as we head towards tomorrow and going into your weekend. So that cold air is coming our direction. That means that for us, only 50s for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Let's look at the short-term forecast. Our futurecast takes us up into the lower 70s for this afternoon. See a couple of clouds pop up here and there. Now, the front itself will actually come through later on this evening, and that will kick up some more clouds. And like I said, our futurecast model trying to show maybe a few light showers or sprinkles as it does move through late in the evening. And that's possible, but I don't think we'll see much at all. And then tomorrow morning, we could see maybe a few 30s to the north, a lot of 40s here around the triangle as we start off on Saturday. Saturday afternoon with some cloud cover out there, we won't get out of the 50s. We'll stay in the 50s for tomorrow. And closer to that front, which will be basically down towards the coast, we could see a mostly cloudy day. Won't see maybe a ton of sunshine. The farther away from the coast you get, you could see a little bit more in the way of some sun up towards the lakes area for later on your Saturday. All right, let's take a look at your coastal marine forecast for today. Southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. High tide at 4:06 this afternoon, and then 11:50 for tonight, so a late one tonight. Our sun set tonight is 5:39. Right now, you can see those winds kicking in out of the southwest. Texas Point, 11 to 14. Water temperature there at about 62. So our forecast for today, mostly sunny, southwesterly winds, and highs there into the lower 70s. As we head towards tonight, look for numbers back down into the 40s for the most part. Like I said, could see a couple of 30s towards the lakes if we get clear out of there for some of those clouds, but a lot of the area is going to be generally into the middle to lower 40s. No rain expected except for maybe, like I said, a sprinkle. We'll have some partly cloudy, maybe mostly cloudy skies as we head in towards tomorrow morning. And you can see what the front does for Saturday and Sunday. 56 for a high on Saturday, 58 for a high on Sunday. Now, Sunday morning is going to be the morning where you're going to watch out for some of the coldest air that comes in. And we're looking at temperatures around the freezing mark here in the triangle and maybe some upper 20s towards the lakes area. Not going to be cold enough for a hard freeze, so you don't have to drip any pipes or anything like that. Now, I would, if I were you, cover up plants. If you have any plants you want to bring in, do that. And of course, make sure the pets are going to be nice and warm as we head towards Sunday morning. And the afternoon on Sunday, at least we'll see sunshine, but it stays cool at about 58. Monday, a quick warm up to about 65. Then we drop off with another quick front coming through Monday night into Tuesday. We'll go back down to about 57. And then we'll start to warm back up for Wednesday and Thursday. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, that's when we see our next chance of rain. And right now, it looks like about a 50% coverage of scattered showers. Late Wednesday going into Thursday, it looks like at this point maybe the bulk of that rain on Thursday is going to be early in the day. So hopefully by the afternoon things will start to clear out a little bit. But you notice we'll definitely be looking at least mild temperatures when the rain comes in into the 60s. And morning lows not too bad, 40s and 50s. So we'll stay away from any type of frozen precipitation.